FOG Andrew here, and the coach here behind the camera for Family Gamers. Welcome, War Gamers, to a little video because I thought this would be this is an important video, at least for us. So, a couple years ago, we bought Flames of War, the El Alamein starter set for version, I think 4, was it? With Desert Rats and Afrika Korps, and that was mid-war. Later on, I think we never really got around to playing it too much. A year later, we went back to Adepticon. We got the Soviet Shock Group starter set and the Armies of Late War rulebook, or not rulebook, but the book that has all of the stats and everything, and all of the British, Americans, Germans, and Soviets.
The Big Four.
Yes. So we started playing again. We really got into it, as you can see. I was playing U.S. Coach was playing Soviets. You had the shot group. I had stuff that Rob gave us. Thank you, Rob, again. But we're like proxying stuff too, so I'm kind of just going through like different formations and whatnot, and just trying to test different things out. We're really just killing each other, not doing any missions.
Getting a feel for the rules and whatnot.
Right. So I think we have a pretty good sense of the rules, at least the basic stuff now. You know, movement orders and like other stuff like that we haven't really gotten into yet. But we've come into a little issue, and the title of this video is "Should we keep playing Flames of War?" And I want you guys to help us out down in the comments below, because we just played another game. This is our fourth, maybe fifth game that we've played.
Yeah, maybe a fifth, sixth game, something like that.
Right. So I was playing Americans. The coach was playing Soviets, like I said.
Well, we started off playing it was the British and the Germans in the mid-war.
Yeah, but that was El Alamein, which is very small. It's
right.
more, individual tanks. You're not going by formations or anything. And I liked that. Mm-hmm. I did like it. We played another game where it was a lot bigger, and I did like it. I really liked the mechanics in the game. But I feel like the Americans versus the Soviets, like the Soviets that you have, seem completely broken. Mm-hmm. If you've played Flames of War, you'll know what I mean when I say this. But they have a 10 armor with a 15 anti-tank with a firepower of 2. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And I can't do anything to you. The only thing I can do is take my artillery unit, the artillery units, to get to your top armor. But even then, I have an anti-tank of 3, and you're going to be rolling. Even if you roll a 1, I'm still not destroying you because you have a top armor of 2. So that's pretty much the only thing that I can really do to destroy your tanks. I had a whole squad of Shermans over here that got completely wiped out by 2 of your IS-2s. Destroyed. And the Shermans could not do a single thing to them.
But then again, you did wipe out the T-34s.
Yes, I wiped out the T-34s, but I think the T-34s and the Shermans are pretty even.
Right.
In the sense of like they're kind of like the basic guys. So I'll tell you exactly what I took. I took an HQ unit, 2 sets of 5 Shermans, and a set of 2 Pershings, and then a set of these Shermans with the artillery guns. And I try to follow the Sherman formation that's in this book as much as possible, and you have 2 formations actually. You have the T-34 formation, and you have an IS-2 formation. So that means that you're having 5 IS-2s on the board. Right. Which is ridiculous. And even the crazy thing is that my points went a little bit higher than yours. I think I'm at 1455, you were at 1420. Right. So I'm higher than you. I have an extra tank than you, and I still got obliterated. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be mad if it was pretty even and I destroyed most of your tanks. I was able to wipe out one of your T-34 units and another one over here, but still you have a whole squad of 2 IS-2s that I couldn't even put a dent into. Right. You know what I mean? Not even bailing them out. Yeah, I was lucky because of my artillery, but that was it. Because my anti-tank is a 3 and your top armor is a 2. So you rolled a 1 and you got bailed out. So it wasn't even right. Well, let's analyze a few things. Number 1, the dice.
The dice killed you.
Well, for both of us, they were
Right.
killing us. You know what I mean? But like I said, the dice rolls don't really matter if I can't do anything.
Right.
Even with these Shermans, they have an anti-tank of 10, and you have a 10 armor. What am I supposed to do there?
Right.
You know what I mean? They literally can't do anything to the IS-2s. Now, is that how it's supposed to be played? I don't know.
Right.
But we were doing a lot of research with the game, and we saw that there was Fortress Europe, one of the late war books, because this book here...
So that book, see, the issue is with this book, is we got the El Amin set.
Yes.
We played a few games, and then we liked it. So now we go back and like, all right, let's do this. He says, all right, do you want to play late war? We said, yes. All right. Last time we went to Adepticon, we also got the Desert Rats book.
Yes.
But the problem is from what I understand is this book is a version 4 book, V4 book, which is the new rules with the version 3
point system.
Point system
Right.
and stats also.
Yeah.
So, the new book, which,
The new Fortress Europe book, that has the version 4 points
Right.
with maybe updated stat. Now, my thing is I love the mechanics in this game. I really do. But, like I said, I got obliterated completely. I don't know what the problem is. So,
well, you're also, playing a tactical genius. That's another.
well, that's another problem.
That's another issue.
But still, I don't understand, and you were saying like, oh, dice rolling, but like Shermans could not do a single thing to those IS-2s.
Right.
Like there were a couple times where it was like you needed anything but a 1. When you rolled a 1, I would miss the firepower and nothing.
Right,
would
but
happen.
that's the game though. That's the dice game.
I know,
that
but
you can't.
yeah,
you can't
well, I know that. But when almost all of my units are like that, that's an issue.
Right.
All of your units could destroy
All right,
me,
so now-
but not all of my units could destroy you.
Well, there's a few things. Number one is we need to get the new book.
Yeah.
All right, which I already ordered.
Okay.
You didn't know I ordered.
I didn't know you ordered that. But good.
So
Good
it-
on you that you ordered
All right,
it.
so it should be here next week. All right,
Okay.
whatever with this this damn COVID thing, everything is backed up.
Yeah.
So number two, the thing is what we did was we kind of, we're using a 6x4. We did this. I think what we need to do is explore strategy. So 4 or 5 games, in my opinion, is not enough.
Right.
I know. Sometimes you get a little impatient and you want to get going and stuff. But the whole thing, my favorite part of any war game, if you've listened to me talk about Dead Zone or even Dread or any war game that we've ever played, it's the list building. What is a counter to this? What is a counter to that? So
And that's what I did trying to look in this book, and that's why I feel that that other book, hopefully, because I don't know if stats have changed or if there's different formations
what it is
or not.
let's just say my IS2s, which are really good, which you had a problem with, they'll probably be more expensive. But then the Shermans will be less expensive because the Shermans were in mid-war going into late war. But the thing is that then they came out with better tanks.
Right.
So the points will be like that. So like in mid-war, the Sherman might be the tank, man. Nothing can beat it. But now if you
Right.
go into late war, they're becoming obsolete. But the thing is with the armies, you don't just scrap a tank. A very expensive tool that's been around, they're going to still use it. But now the brand new tanks are more armor, better fuel efficiency, better anti-tank, better guns, better stuff like that. So,
Right.
But also number 2, now that we have a firm grasp, we have to start using movement orders and stuff because that might have helped you. Because I know that the Germans have a blitz move where they can move 4 inches and fire at a non-moving rate. So
Right.
that I think is the next thing. So that we need to go into.
And I know you were mentioning things about like, maybe let's try a mission or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say if we do try a mission, if my tanks can't do anything to you, then
But maybe the mission circumvents the fact that you have to destroy everything.
let's say the mission is I got to get to an objective on the other side of the table.
Right.
Okay, well, it's
Well,
going
but
to be tough for me
these
to
guys
get
came
there.
all the way across the table.
Yeah.
They did because they moved pretty good, and that's another thing too. The Russians, the Soviets, they with hens and chicks, I thought was a good rule. But anytime I move, I have to add a +1 to hit. So if I'm hitting you on 4s, now I'm hitting you on 5s, and if you're in cover, now it's 6s. Even with that,
Or if I'm over 16.
correct. That's another thing too. So I'm always hitting you on a +1.
Right.
So it's just that today, for some reason, the dice gods were with me. They really were. I mean, I was hitting 5s.
And also
6s
for the
like
last 5 games.
All right, but that's just
So-
that's neither here nor there. That's nothing we can control.
Right.
I think. Well, here's my question to you: Are we scrapping this, or you want to keep doing it?
No, I really like the mechanics of the game. I think the mechanics are really good, and how how you treat a tank this is a unit,
Right.
But they also are treated as individuals, and I like that. It's an interesting
Right.
concept.
That it's a unit. They're a squad, but they can shoot at different things.
Yeah, and I like individually calculating hits and and
Allocating
doing,
and
and
stuff.
allocating
Yeah.
different hits for whatever. I really like that. I think it's a fun game in that sense. It just seems that the Soviets way too overpowered. Maybe the Soviets versus the U.S. are not the way to go, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Why shouldn't it be? But that's why I want to maybe order the U.S. starter. When we get the Fortress Europe book, we can play with. I can play with the U.S. starter because I do want to play the U.S. I want to get the starter, and then because I know that has I think 76 points. That whole
Well, it's a
thing
new
is
system
76
because
points.
we played 1,400 points, but now the new
Right.
system is going back to the mid-war books, which were like 1,400 points would be about maybe 120 points.
Right. So like my starter is like 76 points, and yours is like 75. For a Soviet
Right. So
starter.
we can still add all this stuff too.
No,
so-
yeah. So, but I'm just saying,
But,
I might
if
want
you
to just
if you could run all 10 Shermans for like 10 points
right.
in that thing because they're not obsolete, well, let's just say they're a lot weaker, but you're going to pay for less. It's like any other war game. Something super powerful is going to be more expensive.
Right.
Maybe there was a reiteration of the points. They re-examine stuff.
Right.
And the whole thing is that I think the new book is going to have more of a variety that we can put into the game.
Yeah, and also they have like, I do like how we have. It's not like 40K where like you have to get like 30 books, for each army. But I like how this is like, okay, you can buy the Armies of Late War book, but then there's a supplement book that adds new formations, which I like.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the same thing as 40K.
Yeah, but
Because if I'm going to
you don't
play,
have- but the
but if
thing
I'm
is-
only playing one army, I got to buy a rule book and then that codex, and that's it. If I want to play all 4 or 10 armies, it's up to me to buy the books.
Right.
So it's the same thing, really.
So really,
you have a
but-
rule book. Hold on, you got a rule book, then you have a stat book, and then you have a special codex just for that to take extra formations.
Yeah, but I'm
so
just
you're
saying,
really still buying a lot of books.
You don't need to buy the extra formation book. You
But-
really just
but
need this.
if you are a war gamer, you do need that book.
Right,
If
but
you're going
I'm
to
just
really
saying-
play the game, then you need that book to take those formations.
I just
because
think
those
it's-
formations are the ones that are going to set you apart.
Right, but I just think it's I want to play Grey Knights. Well, no, you can't because you don't have the book. You got to buy the book now.
Yeah, but that's
No, I know. I'm just
you
saying.
still got. Well, I had to buy a book. It's the same difference.
Yeah,
really.
but this book has 4 armies.
okay. But Dead Zone has all the armies.
I know, but I'm just saying. But Dead Zone is a skirmish game.
Right. So it's still a war game. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. But so what I'm saying is, are you willing to, let's go back to the drawing board and figure something out?
I obviously want to keep playing it, but if this is going to be the problem, if I we buy the Fortress Europe book, and I'm still having this problem, I don't know what to. Then I don't know what to
Well,
think.
then you need to go back to the drawing board and figure out what's wrong, because it's
But the thing is though, like I'm maxing out a formation. You know what I mean? I maxed out pretty much the formation.
we got to
I
figure out a
had.
better strategy.
You know what I mean? And you had 2 formations that were at the bare minimum almost. You just added the Ziz artilleries, or the whatever the hell they are. But
No, the artillery I just changed to a different one, but I kept the artillery.
Right.
That was these guys. So I just changed them to reflect that, you know.
So if we're doing something wrong, if that you hear us talking about, or if you recommend other books that we should get, or what army you think I should play instead of the U.S., if the U.S. are really bad, let me know, because they seem pretty bad. Or if you have any tips on how to play the U.S. or how to play the British or how to even play the Soviets. I mean, I don't think he needs the advice. He completely obliterated me, but it's always welcome. So we just want to do this video because we're trying to get into Flames of War, and like I said, it's fun. It's just, it seems like that the Soviets are completely broken and the U.S. are pretty not
Yeah,
good.
well, I don't think so.
I think they are.
Well, let me run the U.S. and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, in that case, then he will obviously win. He'll be like, oh, what are you talking about? They magically have 11 armor and an anti-tank of 30.
Yeah, I just think you got to rethink what you're doing. I think you know, moving forward, spearhead is not the way to do it. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the fun I like, is figuring out how to win. Mm-hmm. You know, figure out how to make the list and make it work.
Yeah. So, guys, like I said, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think we should do. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll be putting out some Flames of War battle reports. Who knows? So stay tuned for that stuff in the future. Give us some tips and stuff if you play Flames of War down in the comments below. And, yeah, guys, that's it. Check out the Patreon linked in the description. Check out our Discord linked in the description as well. Subscribe for more battle reports and all that good stuff on the channel. Check out all the other videos we have here posted. We'll see you in the next one.